You know what you're not talking about? How many fouls were called on each team?
Well, the Knicks have had more fouls called against them, but yet their bench has been the more ineffective bench. I would think if you have a better bench with your guys having to sit down, right, you'd have guys who can come off the bench and score, and that's what we're seeing.
And the guys, that's what you're seeing. That's what you're seeing in New York as well. When the bench was playing, they were up. They were plus 14. They are down. They're negative 12 with Brunson on the court. But do you sit Brunson? No.
You know why they're negative 12? And this is where I think I'm going to get a lot of enemies tonight. I really am.
No one cares.
I said on an episode 179 with Dre and Matt that Mikal Bridges really needed to step up. And because I thought Mikal Bridges was unfortunately, the weakest link when it came to like, hey, you know, we might have to move some pieces. We got to do some things, stuff like that. But I hate to say this, and this is hard to say considering what this man has done in this playoff series. But I actually think the issue is not Mikal Bridges. The issue is that Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns do not play well together.
Yeah. You know why?
They just do not. Defensively, they don't play well together. Offensively, they don't play well together.
They're not. Neither one of them are good defenders on their own.
Right.
Neither one of them. And offensively, you know whose fault that is? That's Brunson's fault.
But unfortunately, here's the thing: the Knicks aren't going to get rid of Brunson. I kind of feel like the Knicks are may have to cut bait on Karl-Anthony Towns. You could probably get a bigger return on Karl-Anthony Towns, and you could be able to put some more pieces around Brunson and Bridges and
build around Brunson. Brunson's 5'11".
But they're going to. You
don't build around Brunson though. Brunson is not that Brunson. You don't build around your shooting guard. He's not Steph Curry.
Faster. We've seen this. You know this. I know the short guards age very fast. But the Knicks are going to, if they're picking between Cat and Brunson, I can almost guarantee you my bottom dollar, the Knicks as an organization will pick Brunson over Cat. Even though we know it's probably not the smartest choice. I also think the Knicks fan base revolts if you drop Brunson versus Cat. If you keep Cat and drop Brunson,
why are we even going this team for this team exceeded? Let's be real here. The Knicks, they're playing with house money.
Yes.
At this point. Did anybody expect the Knicks to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals at all?
I expected them to lose to Boston.
I expected them to lose to Detroit.
I thought they were going to lose
that series.
I thought they were going to lose to Detroit too.
I thought they were going to lose to Detroit. Let's be real here. We're jumping. I think we're jumping ahead of the curve. We're jumping ahead. Okay? The Knicks are not complete. They've never been complete. This is the Knicks. They'll never be complete. Right? Mikal Bridges has not played well this series either. Erratic at best. OG Anunoby has disappeared from the series too. On and off. No one's playing consistent. No one.
And yet,
Indiana is barely beating them.
They are, and I got to give credit to Rick Carlisle. I think Rick Carlisle does not get the respect that I think Carlisle deserves.
Rick Carlisle. Who gives a fuck?
Carlisle.
They're not playing well. The Pacers are not playing well.
They're not. They are taking
Knicks
advantage
are not playing
of
well
the mistakes the Knicks are making.
Exactly.
And yes, the officiating as well.
Yeah, but I'm not sitting there blaming it all on the officiating. I'm not sitting there saying that, the Pacers, were the better team. I'm not saying that either. I'm just saying the Pacers are playing mediocre.
Yep.
And the Knicks are playing below average. Period.
But I think the question that I want to bring to you, Tay, is are we as Knicks fans happy with, okay, we played above expectations, we got one Eastern Conference final in the last 25 years, or are we trying to talk about building a repetitive playoff Eastern Conference, possibly NBA Finals team for years to come. And that's where I feel like a lot of Knicks fans, not you, but a lot of Knicks fans get very short-sighted in the sense of like, oh, okay, we made the Eastern Conference Finals. We're good. We'll go into next year. But they don't think future. You, I know, are not like that. You can think differently. You think a lot more analytically than the average fan. I think a lot of people are getting blinded and are going to get very butthurt about the fact that the Knicks are going to lose, but they're getting very blinded by the fact, like, okay, well, we made the Eastern Conference Finals. Let's run it back next year and not address the deficiencies that this team so plainly has that will cause it to not be a repetitive playoff team.
Because even if you get rid of Cat and you bring a Giannis, it's going to be the same shit. You know that, right?
I think this team with Giannis and Brunson.
Let me finish I'm not finished my point. I'm not finished. I don't even think to be honest with you, I don't think Brunson and Giannis. Brunson is a guard that's not good with assists this entire series.
Yep.
It's been maybe 2 assists, and you can't. And when you don't have it, you gotta dish it. When you don't have it, you gotta create it. Let me tell you something about these Knicks, right? In a year where everybody thought it was going to be the Cavaliers, no one thought it was going to be the Pacers. No one thought it was going to be the Knicks. It was either supposed to be Boston or Cleveland. Let me tell you where the Knicks fucked up. Just like in 94, where there was no Jordan or this person or that person. Just like in 99, when you had the shortened season. You did not capitalize on the bait that's in front of you, right? You have a chance. This was your one chance to play the best basketball that you could have played. And you know what you did? You botched. Do we know why you botched? No. Will we ever know why you botched? No. But like you said, Peter, I have to agree. You know, people do get all emotional about where we are right now, and they forget that there are deficiencies. Do I think this series is a reflection of the bench deficiencies? No, because when the people on the bench played, they played with fire. They played very well. Do I think that this is a reflection of... I think I've mentioned it a few times that I think Brunson is a little too sloppy in the fourth quarter. This has happened several times, and I've seen it. You get what I'm saying? And the Knicks really all season did not really beat great teams.
They were 0-10 against teams in the top of the Eastern Conference.
Yes. So, but while I would say they're playing with house money, they should be happy that they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Yes. Do I think that there should be improvements made? Absolutely. Do I trust Leon Rose to make the right decisions, to make those right adjustments? Absolutely not. That's right. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.